Okay, so like, have you ever imagined like a teddy bear that could actually talk back to you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really hold a conversation and like remember stuff,
Yeah.
like your kid's favorite color or their best friend's name,
Uh-huh.
even what they want for their birthday.
Wow.
Well, that's kind of what we're looking at today. It's
Okay.
like all these smart toys, they're calling them,
Right.
where like playtime meets all this crazy technology.
Yeah.
But it also brings up some pretty big questions
Yeah.
about our kids and like
Yeah.
how much information these toys are collecting.
Definitely privacy is a big one.
Yeah, privacy, exactly.
Yeah. It's fascinating though, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
We've got all these toys now that can like actually respond to
That's
kids,
crazy.
interact with them, even like mimic, facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah, it's really engaging.
It really is like taking playtime to a whole new level.
For sure.
But all that engagement comes with some like ethical questions,
Right.
especially when you think about all the data these things are collecting.
That's actually what one of the articles we've got today is all about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it talks about how people are getting worried about all this data collection.
Yeah, I can see why.
It's like playtime is turning into data collection time.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents aren't too happy about it.
No, I wouldn't be either. I mean, it makes you wonder what exactly are they collecting?
Right. Like, is it just what the kid is saying, or are they tracking where they are too?
Exactly. And what about like their preferences? What they like, what they don't like.
And their browsing history?
Oh, yeah. Could be all sorts of things. And then the big question is, how are they using all that data?
Yeah, is it just to make the toy work better, or is there something else going on?
Right, like targeted advertising or even worse, who knows?
The problem is a lot of these companies aren't exactly being transparent about it.
No, they're not. And that's a big part of the problem.
And it's not just like a theoretical problem either.
Oh, you mean like there have been actual problems?
Yeah, for sure. Remember that Cloud Pets thing a few years back?
Oh, yeah, vaguely.
It was in that UNICEF report we have.
Okay.
Hackers got into their system and like stole all this personal information.
Oh, wow, that's scary.
Yeah, over 800,000 accounts.
Seriously.
And a lot of it was kids' data.
That's awful.
It was a huge deal, like a wake-up call for a lot of parents.
I bet it was. Yeah, the Cloud Pets hack really showed how vulnerable all this data is.
Totally.
But it's not all bad.
What do you mean?
Well, some companies are actually trying to be more upfront about all this privacy stuff.
Like who?
Well, Hello Barbie, for example, they actually tried to address these concerns head on.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Barbie.
Yeah.
I remember when that first came out, everyone was freaking out
I know, right?
about what it was recording and who was listening.
Exactly. It was like Big Brother in the playroom.
Totally. But the company, they actually put out this whole document.
Oh, really?
Yeah, explaining how they were handling security and all that.
Interesting.
It was pretty detailed too, like all about data encryption and how they limit data collection.
Huh. So they actually laid it all out.
Yeah, they did.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. They went into a lot of detail about their security features, too. Like they used TLS encryption for all the conversations with the doll.
TLS encryption.
Yeah, it's the same technology that banks use to secure online transactions, so it's pretty strong.
So it's like super safe?
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Right.
It's a robust protocol, but of course no system is completely unhackable.
Right.
But they also really emphasize not connecting the doll to any random Wi-Fi networks.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that can really compromise security. And they also assured parents that the doll only collects data when it's being used.
Okay.
Kind of like Siri. You know how Siri only listens when you activate it?
Oh, right.
So it's not like constantly recording everything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and then there's that Toy Talk Cloud feature.
What's that?
It lets parents actually listen to the conversations their kid is having with the doll.
Really? So you can like spy on your kids playing?
Well, it's marketed as a way for parents to, monitor what's being said.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess that makes sense.
But it does raise some questions.
Like what?
Well, about trust and autonomy, for one.
Uh-huh.
Is it really okay for parents to be listening in on their kids' playtime all the time?
That's a good point.
On the other hand, it does show that companies are starting to take parental concerns seriously.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially since Toy Talk Cloud actually partnered with the Kids Safe Seal program.
Kids Safe Seal program? What is that?
It's like an independent safety certification program.
Okay.
They set standards for online child safety.
So it's like a stamp of approval.
Exactly.
So if a toy has that seal, it means it's safe for kids.
Well, it means they've met certain standards for data privacy and stuff, but it's still important to do your own research.
Right.
Look into their specific practices and how they apply to the toy you're thinking about buying.
Good advice.
Because this whole landscape is constantly changing.
It really is. So we've got these amazing possibilities with smart toys, but also this huge issue of data privacy.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's almost like a double-edged sword.
It is. And ultimately, it comes down to what you as a parent are comfortable with.
Right.
What do you think is the most important thing when choosing a smart toy for your child?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Is it the educational value or like how much it interacts with your kid?
Or is it the security and privacy of their data?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's definitely something to think about.
It is.
And this whole conversation is only going to get more important as this technology keeps developing.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for diving in with us today.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.